And we are live, baby.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. Hear Me Out live episode 33. 32 or 33. I'm going to say 33. What's going on, man? Joined by my boy BT as always, man.
What's
How's it
up,
going,
fellas?
Brody?
How you guys doing?
What's good? What's good? I'm
We are joined by Nico House, Mikasa, Sukasa. We got to talk. He said he's about to hit us with some spicy sports takes, man. So, we're ready to hear him, man.
spicy. What's the first one? What's the first thing we talking about today, guys?
All right, first thing on the
one?
menu, man. First thing on the menu, we're going to talk about, as you already know, the New York Knicks are coming back to prominence, man. So they're 34-28 now. They did just lose last night to the Suns, ending their winning streak. But they're looking nice right now, though, man.
Why you want to do that, bro? Like, why you trying to dwell on the past? Like, you just
dwell on the past, man. Look at what they're doing. Like, be happy that it happened, not that
don't ruin our like shit, bro. Like, we came in here with such a good mood. Like, I thought we was gonna have a real honest conversation. We're gonna have a good time. You gonna do some shit like that. Like, first thing first. Come on, bro. Talk about the street. Leave it at that. You even had to talk about last night.
Shit, man. That's what we're on.
Oh, who's on there? Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless hating shit. That's what I'm on.
Hell no. Don't
that's like the ultimate insult.
Hell no. Don't ever. Nah. Ain't no Skip Bayless around here, man. We don't rock with no Skip Bayless, man. I stopped watching Undisputed a long time ago. Definitely.
Side note, Skip Bayless is actually a really cool guy. I met him at Miami during the Super Bowl weekend. Like, we took pictures together and everything.
Skip Bayless is good at what he does, man. But I don't know, man. Sometimes I think this guy is just a tad bit off the, you know what I mean? Like, for somebody that never laced it up, bro, past high school, man. But that's
he's wild on purpose, bro. He's wild on purpose.
Definitely.
For the same 100%. Reason that Stephen A be so damn extra. But like Stephen A, people forget, like, low-key Stephen A got that from Skip Bayless. Like, being extra, he got that shit from him. That's why he be talking, like, he be trying to little bro Max all the time. Like, bro, he be talking to Max on top, like, bro, who the fuck? That's a grown-ass man across the table. You better start talking to him like that. I'll reach it.
You're wrong, and here's why.
Yeah.
If someone did that every day,
he proceeds to not actually address the crux of the debate.
Listen, bro, the thing about Skip, I understand that, bro. Like, this man is going to say wild shit, which is exactly why I don't watch anymore, man, because the more people that tune in is going to add to how much more wild the takes start getting, man. So,
first of all, I respect it. You sound like motherfuckers in politics trying to watch, like, explain why they don't want to watch mainstream media. Like, I'm not going to legitimize his sensationalism and his wild takes.
Yeah, well, either way, man, the New York Knicks, man, Julius Randle's looking like he's in the talks for MVP at least, man. He's got to be one of the best players in the league right now, having a great year. What do you think right now, Brooks? Do you think that they're legit in the East? Do you think that the Knicks can actually make noise in the playoffs, or are they going to?
What are the standings right now?
Are they going to fold?
Knicks are in fourth place, right, in the East.
Fourth.
They're
fourth place in the East right now.
They can play the Hawks right now. Trae Young, I believe, is still out with that ankle sprain.
It was a bad one.
It looked terrible. Oh my god! I sprained my ankle once playing basketball.
My
senior year of high school took me out for track. I was done for 2 weeks. It was terrible. I hated it. I would never rush it on somebody else.
It says it's better to actually break your ankle than to sprain it.
Really?
Why is that?
Because when you break your ankle, it heals back clean. You're not fucking with ligaments, right? It's just bone.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's like you're messing with your ligaments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all the little things, and it's just like overstretching them. And that takes longer to heal than its bone pre-healing back to itself. So you got to have everything tightened back and then stabilized. And it just never really gets restabilized.
But back to the Knicks, man. I think the Knicks, the way they're playing bully ball. They got Julius Randle, best New York player right now.
Definitely.
They might be able to just bully around Trae Young, Kevin Waiter, Cam Reynolds, whoever else is on that team. They can win a playoff series. It's just a matter of who they play in the second round. That's the main concern.
Believe it or not, I just want us to get through that first round, right? So the Knicks are like the Heat from last year. You're like, with Jimmy Butler, if they beat at the Bucks at any point, they're going to the finals. That's how a lot of people felt. I think we even talked about it on the show. Like, because of that tenacity that they had, because they knew that, like, the Bucks were so talented, and that if there was one team that could outwork them and did play hard, just as hard as they do, because they got that kind of grind mentality, it would be the Bucks and of course the freak of nature that is Giannis Antetokounmpo. When they got past them, I was like, and they made them look goofy. It was, of course, they could. If I still believe, and people don't want to admit this, but if you watch the first 3 to 4 minutes of that Lakers Heat series, the Heat were cooking them. They could not hold Dragic at all whatsoever. And then you lose Dragic and Adebayo in the same game. Like, and of course, the Lakers' biggest weakness was shooting, but then they lost their floor spreader, they lost their facilitator, which messes up your entire bench because they had a bunch of young boys off the bench, and then they lost their best defensive player and the rebounder. So it was one of those situations with the Knicks. Julius Randle, first of all, that man is better than AD right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I agree.
They keep wanting to say he's on the cusp of being a superstar. No. Julius Randle is taking a team, completely reinvents his game. Is like, I'm the point guard now. Also, I'm going to be the best shooter on the team. Also, I'm going to be the best facilitator on the team. Also, I'm going to be the leader of the team. And people don't want to say what it is. Bro, he's taking a bunch of role players.
Yes.
And with the hardest schedule in the NBA right now. The hardest back half
schedule. In a Western team?
Huh?
Harder than a Western team?
No, like literally, like statistically, they do the little schedule. So the second half of the season, I think, is the Jazz in the West, and then the Knicks in the East had the hardest back end schedules. And the Jazz are handling it well, but we all expected that. The Knicks are playing better in the back end with a harder schedule, and Randle is going off more now than he did in the beginning of the season. He's making everybody look like a star on the team, and it's a bunch of role players in Julius Randle. If you ever see AD hit some dribble the ball up the floor himself, as people were trying to strip him because obviously he's a big man, hit a move. Not no like little, I'm a big man who could dribble move. I'm talking about like, nah, I can dribble because I can dribble move. Hit a step back 3 off that dribble and has been shooting these motherfuckers at 40+%. He is not doing that, bro. He's not even shooting at 20%, bro. He's 28% for the season right now, bro.
You want to hear some wild shit? I'll take Julius Randle over Giannis.
Yeah, right now.
In general, moving forward. Now, I want Julius Randle on my team.
If Julius,
because low key, we want Giannis to be able to do all the shooting and dribbling styles that Randle can do.
Listen, Julius
Randle can be a better closer than Giannis in the fourth quarter.
He is a better closer. His free throw percentage is crazy high too.
It's regular season right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we gotta wait until the playoffs, man.
The device gotta be right for him to do.
Bro, Julius Randle has actually never not performed in the playoffs.
Because we can say what we want about Steph, right? Steph is cooking right now, right? But when it comes to sometimes when he doesn't have all the crazy star power around him, he sometimes tend to fold like a lawn chair. We even seen it in his crazy MVP season, being he got injured, the second one where he won unanimous MVP. He kind of folded, bro, when it mattered.
In the playoffs, he did.
He folded like a wheelchair.
His show is so his skill set is so dependent. The shooters, when they say shooters shoot like, which basically means like you either got it or you don't, and you're confident when you're hitting. When you're not, like you do keep shooting, but like when you live by the 3, you do die by the 3. And Steph Curry's game is highly predicated on the fear of the threes that he can hit, because they can be so demoralizing because he can pull up from you on anywhere. And there's that fear that he can always hit it. It's like kind of like Damian Lillard. The problem is with Damian Lillard, if he's not hitting threes that game, he'll still take them, but he can also cook you in every other way. It doesn't matter if he's hitting threes. You're still where he's going, because the 1 3 that he needs to hit at the end of the game from half court, that's the one he's going to hit. And you know that's coming. And with Steph Curry, there is the fear that he can come back, but in the playoffs, it's the opposite of the Damian Lillard effect. It's he misses 2 or 3 in a row, he not hitting no more that game, most likely. And the whole team gets demoralized because of how much that it amps him up. And KD saved him a lot from people noticing that. But Curry was even going cold during the KD play when KD was with them, and he had to take over. And that's why KD would have to take over.
That's why you want on those MVPs, bro. In my opinion, because in 1 year he had a terrible game. I think it was the first finals they played with each other. He ended up having a terrible game. KD hit that pull up 3, and then the same year, next year, they happened again. So the finals MVP discussions around Curry are very valid.
Yeah, he did better the second go round, like the second go around with KD. But obviously, he wasn't putting up these numbers. I think he only averaged like 26 or 27 a game, if that. But given that you're the second primary scorer or secondary scorer. Actually, he was supposed to be the primary scorer. KD had to become the primary scorer. Remember, because KD's supposed to be playing off the ball.
That's why they brought him in though, because he was a better all around.
They knew the playoffs.
But hold on, we're talking about Steph, right? But let's show this man the praise that he does deserve though, because I feel like we're being a little hard. At least me, I was being a little hard on him about him folding like a lawn chair, which he did. He absolutely did. But this man absolutely revolutionized the game, bro. This guy right here is the reason you go to a high school, college, or even professional game. Look at the analytics of basketball now. It's all 3-pointers. It's all 3-pointers. What up, Glory? Interview dropping, right? Yes. Interview dropping today.
Yeah.
With Glory Jones.
They're all uploaded, so they'll be coming out shortly.
Yep. So definitely check that out. We're talking about the Super League situation that was going on in Europe.
Curry, I want to say this. Curry did, I mean, like when you're talking about the best shooter ever, like it's actually kind of ridiculous how much what's wild, like this, once again, nobody ever talks about this enough. What's wild about how much Steph is the best shooter ever is the fact that Klay Thompson is literally unquestionably the second best shooter ever. Like the year that Steph first broke the record, people forgot he had to break Klay Thompson's record to get the record.
Yeah.
And like Klay Thompson wasn't even close. Like he destroyed it the year before. I think it's only because Curry got injured. So like, and obviously Curry became the dominant ball handler in that time. But like, bruh, literally the first and second best shooter of all time on the
Curry might fuck around and break that record again this year. And what's it called? Glory said Curry went missing in the 15 finals. Nah, he averaged 26. They should have gave him the finals MVP.
The reason that Iggy won the finals MVP.
Listen,
the reason.
Curry should have definitely won just off of.
Nope, I'm gonna down this hill. Hold up, real quick. We're gonna down this hill. Everybody wasn't talking about LeBron should have been the finals MVP because look at the numbers. What they never fucking talk about are the quarter-to-quarter percentages of what LeBron did. Because boy, LeBron was Mr. Garbage time during those finals. When they were getting blown the fuck out, he was staying in there because like obviously the Warriors put their whole like bench in him because they were getting beat that bad some games. He would go in there and like just start racking up on statistics. So people would be like, oh, look at me. He averaged a triple-double that finals. Yeah, like because you were like going on what's his name? Pascal Siakam, what JaVale McGee at the time and all these bums. Of course, bro, it don't take much. 3 minutes with a bunch of bums. What can LeBron do to them? Come on. So when Iggy was guarding him, if people were watching that game, the points, would LeBron eventually score on Iggy? And even somewhat efficiently, I guess. But when was he getting the basket scored? It was never a go-ahead bucket. It was never to tie the game because they were getting their ass. Every time that opportunity came up, Iggy was on his ass, locking him down so he can never get a go-ahead bucket. And so somebody else would have to take a bad shot. And then eventually Iggy would let off the gas because, I can let you off the gas now. But if you ever got close again, I'm locking you back up. The only game that they lost was before Iggy was guarding, and then Iggy D'd him up. It was over. Literally, they didn't win another game, if I'm not mistaken. The moment that they put him on there full time. That's why he went Finals MVP.
He got hurt too, and then Kevin Love was hurt like 2 rounds earlier. So
I was just saying that Steph Curry, bro, just off of like, if you were doing it based off of stats, I had to give it to him, bro. 26 points per game, and they mattered, bro. Some of them, they were sometimes kind of empty performances a little bit, but Steph Curry did perform, bro. I'm not saying that Iggy didn't. That's the only thing I want to say, because Iggy had more impact on that series. Both of them played good. Iggy had more impact.
What was the main reason the Warriors were so dominant that year? It was not necessarily Steph Curry shooting. The reason why was because they were the number 1 defensive team in the NBA, and they had so many easy opportunities. Huh?
It was absolutely Steph Curry.
Oh, listen. They had so many easy opportunities in transition to get, remember those famous transition threes that everyone's like, why the hell are they taking them? Because I'm wide open and it's literally easier for me to make a 3 than to hit a 2 for whatever reason. Like, so all of a sudden you have one of the best defensive players in the NBA in Draymond, eventually became the defensive player of the year. You have Klay, who is locked down. You have Livingston, who is all of a sudden locking down. And you got Iggy, who is looking like the best defender in the playoffs. All creating easy opportunities for Klay and Steph to get open in transition. And if anytime you thought you had a chance to come back or you thought that you had the game out of control, their defense would create the easy 3-point shots, and the 3-point shots were automatic. So like once again, so if just keeping in mind that this was the number one defensive team in the NBA, and then the moment that they weren't able to play that type of defense because Iggy got injured, and then Bogut went down, who was also their shot blocker, because people that fucking finals too, people forget how Bogut was throwing LeBron shit all over the goddamn place. You remember that shit? The first game?
The next finals when he got hurt, that was the reason why they ended up losing game 5 through 7. Because you remember?
Because Draymond and Bogut were out.
Rory said Clay got better fundamentals than Curry, his actual form. I agree with that. Clay's release is beautiful, bro. Honestly, if Clay had as much of a green light as Steph, he'd probably be doing similar. I don't know if y'all say the same, but he would be putting up similar numbers, bro. Like this guy.
He do kind of have the same green light. I feel like that's why we see some of the numbers dude be getting like 30 points in the quarter or some shit like that. Like,
exactly.
What was that game that he averaged? How many seconds? Of, like 2 seconds
in 1 quarter, 37 1 quarter,
and 37. But he was averaging 2 seconds of like holding the ball.
Oh, right.
And he dribbled the ball like 6 times that whole game too.
Like that's insane, bro. But so here's my gripe, because I want to go back to Julius Randle. I give my man some love, but here's my gripe with Steph Curry. As much love as I have for him and how much he did revolutionize the game, he for whatever reason, and I wish I could really even quantify it, but I actually believe it's because he isn't the dominant ball handler. And that's not when they were winning. It was when he was the dominant ball handler. It was when Draymond was, because Draymond was the catalyst. Curry runs off screens, et cetera, et cetera. Lillard, people were like, oh, what about the injuries? I don't want to hear about injuries, because look what Dame Lillard has done consistently over and over and over again. Then look at what Westbrook did with 0 goddamn shooters on his team. That first year, he averaged a triple-double and broke the assist record. 0 shoot. And that ain't. I know people gonna go back in history going like, man, yeah, Oladipo. What you talking about? No, that wasn't Sam Oladipo. That ain't Mr. The Black Panther. Okay, guys, that's not that guy. You know what I'm saying? Oladipo actually said it was playing with Westbrook that made him like that. Okay, so when you had the opportunity, you still have your third best player and decent. I feel like you have decent enough performances. And Andrew Wiggins is not a scrub. So a lot of people keep pretending he's a scrub. He's not. And you're getting decent enough performances, but the games are coming in close. Yeah,
Andrew Wiggins is kind of a scrub, bro.
For what he was supposed to be.
He's not what he's supposed to be. Okay, no. Not what he was supposed to be, but he's not a scrub. He puts up enough.
Bro. For a number 1 overall,
Westbrook and Lillard, they're they're like 6 or I would give him 6 or 7. But like Westbrook took that type of shit to the 5th seed. Like, so for some reason, there's something about that style of play from Curry. It's not taking anything away from him, but there is something about the style of play from Curry that does not lead to wins without the exact right pieces around him in a way that Westbrook and Lillard can literally will a team to a playoffs. To the point where, like, bro, them Lakers-Blazers games, history might not look at it. They're like, oh, it was 5-1 or 4-1. Bro, no. 2-3 of those games were close, and the rest of the games, Lillard was injured. That's the only reason it went the way it did.
The sad truth about that, though, man, like, while I agree with you, though. I absolutely agree with you. You say that Dame and Russ are willing their team. Steph, right now, is probably the first time we've ever actually seen him will a team pretty much by himself, but they're not really doing as well. They're 31-30. It's all right, but I agree. It's not like Dame and Russ, but
they were both doing things like.
History sadly won't remember the Dames and the Russes as much as they'll remember the Stephs and the other guys that had like crazy good teams.
That's why Katie don't like them though. That's why Katie doesn't like them. That's literally why. Because they're like, y'all, let's be real, everybody. There's a light skin bias in the NBA. Like the fact that people think that somehow Jason Tatum is so like much better than Jaylen Brown, it's fucking bizarre. Because there's really not any evidence of that. Jason Tatum has sparks of superstar. Jaylen Brown produces every single quarter on both ends of the floor in the most efficient way possible. When they both went up and played against All-Stars, off the bench, Jaylen Brown had more points. It was more efficient than Jason Tatum was starting.
Yeah, that's actually a good argument right there.
I've been having that conversation with my friends too about Jaylen Brown being better than
Jason Tatum. Nick?
Especially because of those reasons that you just gave up. And Jaylen Brown is just more consistent than Jason Tatum is.
In every way. Like what happens is Jason Tatum will have these explosive games, and then everybody assumes that is the norm because then they won't watch the rest of his games. Man, be having duck feet on defense, don't shift well. Like if you, bro, like somebody tried to argue me the other day that Jason Tatum is better than Julius Randle at the power forward position. I'm like, you've lost your mind. They're like, how could you think that? I'm like, let's just take, for example, the fact that you have two all. Can you imagine if Knicks had one other all-star?
Yo, but check this out though. Hey Nick, real quick, because Nick loves Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum over Jaylen Brown. And here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Jaylen Brown. He's a better all over, like consistent.
Better.
He's a better player, bro. He's a better player than Jason. But Jason Tatum, he has more. He just got more clout in the NBA. I would say he's a really good player, but
light skin bias and lottery bias. Facts. Lottery bias is a real thing.
More. He just has a more. He doesn't look at. Sometimes Jason Tatum plays a little awkward to me. I feel like he's not fully developed yet. But right now, Jaylen Brown seems like he's ready to already kind of take that next leap. And Jason.
Okay. So remember, whenever it became a problem because Jason Tatum was not thriving in his role playing position, right? Which every rookie has at a point where you're playing a role. Even Zion, before he became the ball handler, had to learn how to play his role first, right? Jaylen Brown, as a role player, was a monster as a role player because that's what they say. Hey, you have all these skills, but this is what we need to do instead. He said, you know what? That's okay. I'll be 3-and-D guy. Did it. They were like, hey, these people went down. We need to step up a little bit more. Balled out consistently, efficient games over and over and over again.
I think Nick.
Then it's like, okay, hey, I know we asked you to be a role player before, but can you be an all-star now? We didn't really train you for this, but we just need you to literally be an all-star now. Like that shit's like casual, right?
Don't let Kobe down, Jalen.
Nick says Jaylen Brown's a better hooper, but Tatum is a better superstar.
That's what we were saying. He got more clout in the NBA.
I would say long term, Jaylen Brown's going to be the better superstar.
Nah, I think what he means
as soon as he leaves the Celtics.
No. He said Jaylen Brown's a better hooper. He's saying Tatum is a better superstar. I think what he means by that is the clout thing that we were saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I actually think he means the upside potential, because like there's a belief that Jason Tatum is getting numbers that Brown cannot get. Y'all don't understand. Brown is letting Tatum be the superstar because that is the only way Tatum will stay engaged. Because we've seen Tatum become disengaged in multiple quarters at a time.
Even in the playoffs, man, sometimes we see him just kind of not be who he's supposed to be or not be what he's telling. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Or he'll be breaking, or he won't be if he's not dribbling from the top of the key because all of a sudden he thinks he's Kobe Bryant, then he doesn't really get engaged. And Brown understanding this and is being more willing to be a team player is like, hey, I'm gonna let my man shine. And then when Brown, because that's what happens, right? And then when Jason Tatum goes to the bench, Brown starts cooking from everyone on the goddamn floor. So at the end of the day, people just need to realize, like, and it's not even saying that Jason Tatum is not an all-star too. He is an all-star, but the fact that for some reason there is a hyper focus on the potential of Jason Tatum without recognizing what Jaylen Brown is doing right now is the problem with all the kind of like the player narratives in the NBA. Like
my prediction for this, I would say Jaylen Brown is going to be underappreciated in Boston. And then he's going to go. Boston's going to slip with Jason Tatum being the main guy. Jaylen Brown's going to go somewhere else and make another team a lot better.
Yeah, because what's going to end up happening is that people are going to start saying, oh, Jaylen Brown isn't enough, right? That's what they're going to say. It's not going to be Jason Tatum needs to step up because I don't feel like he's a leader of the team. Kemba Walker is a leader of the team right now, which is a whole other thing because you can't be Jason Tatum. Because, like, it's one thing if you're not the biggest, like, so, for example, there are point guards who may not be the leader of the team because they're like, even though you're really great, you're just not, you can't drive us to a championship. You're tiny, you're small, right? That's not Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum's issue. Jason Tatum is 6'9". Jason Tatum can hoop, but he's not a leader. He's not. And if Kemba Walker has to be the leader for that superstar to shine, that means when Kemba Walker is not on the floor now, and Marcus Smart is the other leader, right? So two guards are your leaders. Unfortunately, two guards that tend to be injury prone.
Bro, that's why Boston needs a true big. Like, if they had like a Julius Randle type of player, bro, they would be amazing. But
it would be in fourth place.
Nobody in their right mind is taking Tatum over Randle, man. It's some crazy shit. But and Glory even said, look, Glory, the homie Glory, Wiggins is a scrub. I'm sorry, bro. That man
he's a scrub compared to what he's supposed to be. But I was just saying in the example of I've seen players, guards, who are considered to be starting, and also are highly scrutinized because of where they didn't get to. Because Curry was blessed to have a good team and a good coach around him. Like if you give Wiggins to any of them 12 points a game, 14 points a game, they would fucking love that shit. Thank you for being able to hit 1-3 a game. I appreciate it. Even 2 would be nice. But that's not what that's not what they had. And they were still able to carry teams and make players look better than they actually were. Because as soon as those players left those teams, they are not really good anymore. Bro, they were so good that they were like, Roberson, bro, you don't even got to take a damn shot the entire game.
Let's get into this right quick. The playing spots. Should they keep them or should they?
Yeah, I like it.
That's what I'm saying too.
Bro, look, I think that the play-in spots is like a participation award, bro. Like, if you can't crack the top 8, if you cannot crack the top 8, I'm sorry. And I'm not even like an old school kind of guy. I like when new things are implemented. I'm not going to be the kind of guy who complains about smartphones and keep my flip phone. I'm not that type of guy, bro. I like new shit. I like innovation.
I feel like he is.
Nah, bro. No.
So, do you have a dad cap on? Is that what that says? Dad or dead?
Nah, this said I had no.
Dad. I'm like, is he giving this soliloquy with a dad cap on? Like, and it literally says that.
You know what? It is, but it doesn't say. It said Dead Omens on it. Dead Omens, but what's it called? Nah, bro. I like innovation, but I think that the play-in tournaments is basically saying, like, if you can't crack the top 8, 9, 10, 11, or what is it? 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, and 11. It's a participation award, bro. Honestly, I see why the league is doing it. Obviously, it's going to pull in more revenue. You got the stars are going to be playing further into the season. You're going to see more of them, but a participation award, bro. If you can't get into that top 8, why should you have a playoff spot?
Here's why. I'm going to give you 2 prime examples right now. What we saw this season where Jimmy Butler went down, and then also Victor Oladipo, they didn't know it was going to get him, but if both of them were down, those are 2 of their best players. And they fell dramatically because that's just the way their team is built, is like around Jimmy Butler. He's the heart and soul of the squad. So like we will be okay with the Heat, not even if when he comes back and they do just enough to regain their stature, but they just fall short because they're in 9th place. Like that is a travesty to basketball and almost a wasted season because of a freak accident. And then on the west side of that fence, what we're seeing right now is luckily the Lakers were somehow able to stay afloat and damn near started to look better than when they had AD and LeBron. That was fucking weird, right? So like that was weird. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. Like they were winning games they should not have been winning. But
what y'all think, man? Y'all like this play-in? Do you guys like the idea of the play-in? For those who don't know what the play-in tournament is, it's going to be usually for each conference in basketball, top 8 teams get in the playoffs and they face each other 1-8, 2-7, so on and so forth, right? And then the play-in tournament is going to be the final 3 teams that didn't crack that 8th spot, and they're going to do it. What's it? The best 2.
It'll be 7 versus 8, and then 9 versus 10.
7
whoever
versus 8
loses 7 8 plays the winner of the 9 and 10, and then whoever wins.
One has to win 2 games, and the one who's 9 is just 1 game they got to win.
Yep.
So what y'all think, man? Y'all think is that good for the NBA? Do you like it?
We almost lost the Lakers in the playoffs, bro. You know that, right? We were this but the play-ins kind of kept it. Luckily, the team once again overperformed, and you got to give Frank Vogel some damn credit. Some credit, like for real. And then them being smart enough to go get Drummond, and Drummond really helped them as well. Even just his presence really fixed their rotation, in my opinion. But we almost lost them, bro. We were like, damn, we've got to hope they make the play because they went on a losing streak before LeBron went down.
But look, Nico, check this out, bro. You were saying about Miami, about Jimmy Butler, the travesty to basketball, and I agree. It's part of the game, bro. Like I can't just if my son doesn't win.
A lot of injuries, bro. I want the best team to win.
Award, bro.
I want the best team to win, bro. Like I'm just like I am one of those people. I'm like, whatever you got to do to make the, because I like competitive basketball, bro. Like I love that shit. And yeah, it's cool. Like, but you're talking about participation trophy by allowing teams who are less talented to get into the playoffs because somebody was injured for a certain stretch with a freak accident. That is a participation trophy because you're going to get your ass waxed the first round, and we're not going to see a good basketball game, and they're not going to make no money.
Yeah,
I know. I look, man. I know this is sports, but I'm still the debate king. So
Listen,
debate God.
I'm not even saying it's no right or wrong on this, bro. But
it's right. It's right. Here's right or wrong, Dro. Just because you're wrong don't mean it ain't right or wrong now.
All I'm saying is this. The play-in tournament, bro, it's part of the game. If things happen throughout the season, if somebody gets hurt and they're not as good as what they used to be, that's part of the game. They're no longer competitive. You're saying about them being they could be more competitive once they get their players back, whatever. And again, in a perfect world, that would be cool, but that's just how the NBA has been for a minute. You know what I mean? But again,
Glory's the only one who agrees with you, Dro. But let me say,
I'd rather have teams just take the regular season. Exactly, bro. If you want to make the playoffs, bro, go hard in the regular season, bro.
I'll say this, though.
It loses meaning. People would coast through that shit, and
I want the most competitive games, whatever the fuck I gotta do to get that. I hate.
Wouldn't deserve a playing spot or a playoff spot. I would rather see them play going further into the season. I want to see Russ and Brad continue to cook.
Right, because like they had a new team. They were injury ridden. Also, they were, and for whatever reason, like everybody knows that Russell Westbrook is a pick and roll guard, and they were setting no picks for him. And I'm like, what the, Scott Brooks is a trash coach. Like, let's go ahead and talk about. He's trash. He's a trash coach. But when they got their rhythm, they had a conversation at some point clearly, and they're on a tear, like a historic tear. He's about to average a triple double again.
Got healthy too.
He's a beast, bro. Russ deserves his props, man. He definitely.
Bro, he's about to average it. Once again, everybody keeps talking about it's not even that hard to average a triple double. Then why the fuck is no one else doing it, bro? He just took DC from being the worst team in the NBA to a playoff team again with a straight up trade, bro.
Look, Jokic is about to do it now. Triple doubles are a little more.
We're 10-2 with Daniel Gafford now too. Just
for real?
10-2.
Weird.
After the trade, so
I know I keep seeing that statistic on Instagram about Daniel Gafford's going up. Like
that guy has got it. Him and Thomas,
the most normal ass name ever.
Yo, Nico, let me ask you this, bro. The Wizards should have a better record than what they have right now, considering that they have the Mr. Triple Double and the number one scorer in the league right now. He's barely ahead. Do you think? And this is just something that I was telling Brooks. Brooks and I were having a debate about this. I think Bradley Beal is partially the reason that they lost a lot of these games. Do you agree with that? Do you think that he should be to blame more so than Russ or anybody else on that team for that matter? Do you think that I'm being too harsh on him?
So here's the only reason I think that you'd be a little harsh.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say this. Bradley Beal isn't a good closer. I'll admit to that. He needs to be better in the fourth quarter. I'll admit to that.
He's a bad decision maker.
Yeah, the body language, bro.
44 minutes. He's so good. He's going to lift your team up. That's why we were close.
He's an emotional motherfucker, bro. I don't know if you ever seen his videos.
Every time they're down double digits, Bradley Beal is bringing us back. Bradley Beal and Russ Westbrook. That's why he's the number one scorer in the league right now. So I'll give it to that. But then again, it's the fact that he's not a good decision maker in the fourth quarter that's really hurting him.
You know why? It's because Bradley Beal is like, he's like a Memphis Grizzlies player from the Zach Randolph era. Like, that's what team he should be on. Because, like, bro, that is the ugliest game I have ever seen. Every time he crosses over, I feel like he's going to lose the ball and somehow it just ends up in the basket. Like, for real. And you don't feel like I get nervous every time he crosses over. But it always works out because he's like, I'm a hooper. I'm here. I'm not here to be pretty. I'm not here to do shit but put this ball in this basket by any means necessary. But there was such a long stretch of, I'm not going to win anyway, that he just never really learned how to close, in my opinion. And Scott Brooks he's never been good at putting his teams in positions to close well. He's like, hey, do the same thing y'all been doing for the last 3 quarters. Like, no. They know that's coming. Yeah, but just do it anyway. That's why the Thunder was trash, or not. They were always trash in very specific scenarios, like against the Warriors or against the Heat in the finals.
Scott Brooks literally has a reputation as a developmental coach. And he just got lucky getting KD, Russ, and James Harden and Serge Ibaka on the team.
It wasn't even Scott Brooks who turned Russell Westbrook into that dude. It was
the only one who trusted Russell Westbrook to do his thing, but
I think it was Mo Cheeks. Somebody, it was one. So the point guard coach for that Thunders team is the point guard coach for the Pistons now.
okay.
Like, but that was the guy, and he got somebody else right too. I think I want to say it was Oladipo or some shit like that. So like this dude, that was the dude who made Russell Westbrook that dude and like kind of gave him the keys. But you are right, it was Scott Brooks who was like, Russ, this is your team. And like to be fair, man, Russell Westbrook is kind of a more likable guy than KD. I feel like KD is like always looking to compete even with his own teammmates.
Oh,
and
we're gonna talk about that too in a second, bro.
Just threw shade at Russell Westbrook.
That's what we're gonna in a second. But
the best teammate thing.
Yeah, the best teammate.
The whole thing about Bradley Beal, my beef with him, bro, is like
put Russell against the Nets.
Put Russell Westbrook with another star player, KD, Harden. Obviously, they're better, but put him with other star players, and he's performed much better than what they're doing right now. Because if Bradley Beal can't close, Russell Westbrook has to be the one to carry. Come playoff time, nothing's happening for him, bro. Come playoff time, Russell Westbrook is not that guy in the
whoa
in the
bro,
fourth.
I'm not about to be here for this motherfucker Russell Westbrook slander. Like, okay, so listen,
playoffs, bro, playoffs.
Context is important here.
He lost
with the Rockets, he had rust one game. He had rust, right? And then which everybody knew was coming because he hadn't played and he had COVID and he hadn't played all year. James Harden, the next game, when Russell Westbrook goes the fuck off, falls away. Like nobody. So now you're putting extra pressure on them again, but Russell Westbrook is still recovering from COVID. And so he did okay the next game, but it was nowhere near what the game was before. Before that, it was playoff P doing playoff P shit to a point where you could tell low key Westbrook didn't trust his ass. Like low. And so he felt like he had to do the absolute most and things never really end up well. But before, there would be some games with the KD in Westbrook Thunder where sometimes it would kind of be Westbrook's fault, but a lot of other times it would be KD trying to be the point guard and turn the ball over at the last minute of the game or taking a dumbass shot. Like he would just do random ass pull-up shots that he was not hitting. And Westbrook would be like, what the fuck? Like, I'm the point guard, guys. So then it was almost like, once again, they were competing with each other. So I do feel like Westbrook had the type of temperament where, so now I think the reason that the Wizards are so good is because Bradley Beal and Westbrook are like the same type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like they are like, fuck anybody who's not trying to win. And if you're not on my team, fuck you too. Like that's how he is. And they're both like that. And Bradley Beal gets buckets. And he's going to, if he's not hitting shots, he's going to drive that bitch. And
but why are they not better then, bro? Why are they so low?
No, they are better now. They are better. They're like, well, they had the second longest win streak in the NBA. What are you talking about?
When I say better, when I say better, I mean like, why are they not like a top tier team that motherfuckers are scared of?
Because in the beginning of the the beginning of the season, they had a lot of injuries. One, but two, Westbrook and Bradley Beal were trying to figure out how to play with each other. Right? They were like trying to, and Scott Brooks is not a good coach. This isn't like most coaches like, okay, let me create a plan that like caters to both sets of skills in a way that's complementary. That's not what Scott Brooks does. He's like, hey guys, this more important thing is you go out there and have fun. That's how he be, bro. That's how he be. So it's like Doc Rivers, right? The only reason that Doc Rivers is like the reason that Embiid is so quote unquote good this year. It's not because Doc Rivers is like just such a great developmental coach. No. He's like, hey, Embiid, do what you want. I don't care. Just win the game. The problem is in the playoffs, guess what it's going to be? Embiid, do what you want. Oh, shit. That is not conducive to success in the playoffs. You got to create.
That's literally what happens with Russ, bro. The exact same thing.
2 points.
Bad coaching. Westbrook has been don't get it twisted. Westbrook's decision making has been a victim of bad coaching for his whole career. That is the saddest.
Whoa. Hold on. So you're saying that's all on coaching or mostly on bro? That got to fall on his shoulders. He's
coaching is to a certain degree, but coaching at its core is personality management and having the wherewithal to be able to sit down with the player and awareness of like, hey, so I know you want like with Scott Brooks or Steve Kerr. Remember that 72-win season when they were trying to stay interested? He would literally say, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to coach this game. Curry, coach. And Curry would do all because they would keep them interested. You got to know your players And you got to cater to them because the reason that they are so great is because of the mindset that they had coming into the league that made them successful. So there are certain habits that you have to break and certain things you as a coach have to help them see to make sure that they can ascend to the next level. And that's one of the things that Pat Riley did, and obviously Dwayne Wade did for LeBron, right? LeBron had so much success playing a certain way. And then they were like, bro, stop doing that shit. Go fucking drop to the rack. Stop trying to facilitate all the time. Be the dominant ball handler. And then, he obviously ascended to a different level. But also, Dwayne Wade, and I would say even Eric Spoelstra, understood LeBron, how sensitive he is, how you have to kind of like cater to his personality a little bit. And then pat him on the back. Like LeBron loves being pat on the back. I mean, it's a Capricorn thing. I can't complain. But, that's just how he is. And that's what makes great coaches is when you can manage personalities, make them something they're not, get them out of character if it means being more successful. I mean, hell, this motherfucker, what's his name over at the Spurs? Pop used to take no personalities and make them dogs.
You put all their souls in a box when they come through the front door, man.
They go out there playing with just giant black eyes, like,
give me your soul. Listen, I think you're letting Russell Westbrook off the hook, dude.
I am.
To say that this man is a victim of falling to coaching, bro. If you can't get it done throughout multiple coaches, that's
it's been two. It's literally been two coaches, bro.
Nah. So he's played with Billy Donovan. He played with
Billy Donovan, Scott Brooks. Billy Donovan, Scott Brooks.
Billy Donovan, and what was the Rockets coach? It wasn't D'Antoni when he was there.
Oh, D'Antoni.
Which,
but he was wildly successful in the Rockets. It was just 1 year, and he got injured.
He was better with the Rockets, but what happened in the playoffs?
Russell Westbrook
was injured.
In January, though. The rest of the season, he was kind of like so and so.
He was first game. He was going.
No. During the rest of the season, he was still he was balling. It's just that he wasn't as efficient, and he wasn't getting the amount of assists he had usually gotten for whatever reason. Then they switched to small ball, and Westbrook literally was the best player in the NBA. And then COVID happened.
Pedro was saying about the Wizards too, not having a good record. Russell Westbrook had a quad injury. He wasn't healthy at the time. Plus, you lose Thomas Bryant.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You lost Thomas Bryant to a torn ACL.
Eric House too with having the girl in his hotel room and shit. That was bad time.
Man, you talking about Daniel House?
I'm talking about the Wizards. Yeah. The Wizards still have Thomas Bryant. They don't have Russell Westbrook. He's injured because of the quad.
That Daniel House shit, bro.
They lose 5 straight games going into the season. So it's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, and also y'all didn't have a winning culture yet. You can't just turn that shit around, bro. Like the Knicks, we weren't just out the gate winning. We did okay. We were like 1 or 2 games under 500 for like a good port, like maybe a fifth of the season. And then as the culture got built 1 game at a time, now we're on streaks. The culture was slowly getting built. Westbrook, who was probably a big personality to handle for a lot of those players, right? Because you're used to laid back Bradley Beal, and then it's like this guy comes in and he's demanding a lot of shit of you as a player. And at first, some players are probably like, oh shit, man, you're doing the most. And they start seeing the results. And then you go on the second largest win streak in the NBA next to the Knicks. So you got 2 scenarios. And also, by the way, I feel like just we can go back to the Knicks real quick. Really quick. So y'all know that we've been on this win streak without our best defensive player and our best rebounder and our 6th man.
That's crazy. Yo, that actually, bro, imagine if Mitchell Robinson was there right now, bro.
And if what's his name was back playing healthy, because he keeps getting injured. Burks, yeah, he comes back. He was like the best shooter in the NBA at one point in the first half of the season, and he got injured, and he just hasn't returned back to form.
You know how I know the Knicks are nice, bro? At one point I had 4 of them in my fantasy lineup. I had 3 of them right now. I got Derrick Rose, RJ Barrett, and Randall, and all of them are blessing me right now, yo.
But bro, RJ Barrett is pulling, looking like a slip. But Julius Randle,
he's the one that makes it all happen.
Dribbling between double teams, hitting step back, just not even thinking about it. He's like, bop, 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 step back. They're double team. Yeah, I don't care. Y'all, that's it. That's it. Wet. Did y'all watch the game against it was the Hawks where they were going back and forth with the 3-point shots?
No, I don't think I caught that.
They hit like 8 3-point shots in a row. I mean, and they were disgusting They were dirty. They were like pull up 3-point, like Randall hit, I think half of them at that point, but they were doing, they weren't easy 3-point shots. Oh man, you know we got to love to this man whose career I thought was over, former UNC player Reggie Bullock. Man is hooping, pulling up like hand face. Don't eat. He's not even thinking about it anymore, which is great because that's when you're the best, when you stop thinking about it. And it's like I'm telling you, bro, it's Randall. It is literally Randall is doing something to this damn team where they actually believe in themselves now. And he had an interview where he was talking about it. They asked him like, what's different? He's like, bro, I realized like to be the guy, it's more than about being the best player.
You got to be the man in the whole entire organization. But that's the thing. Before I let you say it, I just want to say Julius Randle's ascension is so like impressive to me, bro. I definitely got it. I take him over AD. I take him over Giannis. I take him over a lot of NBA bigs right now, bro.
Like Julius Randle is actually becoming my Westbrook's probably always gonna be my favorite player until he retires. But like as far as like players that actually have a chance to do this shit, like Randall's like becoming my favorite player in the NBA. Like, and if you, once again, there are a lot of people right now who are just watching the stats and watching the record. If you've been watching Julius Randle, this bullshit of he's on the cusp of being a superstar all NBA, bro, he is the best power forward in the NBA. It is not even really fucking close. It's not close. He's the defensive anchor. He's their best player. He's their best ball handler. He's their best shooter. He's damn near their best free throw fucking shooter. What else do you want from him?
All right. Let's move on to the next team in New York, man. Let's talk about
the Nets, man.
Whether or not the Nets.
I got like 10 minutes, but let's go ahead. Let's knock this out because you should be quick.
The Nets or the Lakers are in more trouble for their title dreams.
Ooh.
Which one is more in trouble? I think it's the Lakers, simply because of the fact that right now LeBron James, he's not coming back for another week or so. AD is still coming back. He's still getting his fresh legs. They're 5th seed right now. They're in a lot of trouble right now. I think they.
You said the Lakers are in more trouble than the Nets?
I think so.
I disagree.
I think so. Because I think KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, they've played with each other enough, and they've
hoop
enough to know that they're going to
hoop. That's what I feel about KD. Like, bro, this year with KD coming back every 3 games and hitting 30 off of nothing, off the bench, like it's getting bad. How easy KD. But it actually makes me really upset, bro. I play basketball a lot, man. Every time I need to get back into form, it's always like a thing. It's like a 2-week process at least. And that's like, I'm talking about going hard in the gym. Niggas think I'm trying out for the league. I'm like, that's how long this month KD will come back like, yeah, okay, it's cool, whatever.
KD be just stepping in there. But what I want to say is this, bro. Why I disagree with that, the Lakers are definitely not in more trouble. The Nets are in more trouble. And I'll tell you why, bro. KD is suffering these injuries here and there. But if he comes back, obviously he's going to be cooking. Mm-hmm. James Harden sometimes right now, right,
the season too.
For the regular season, he'll come back for the playoffs. But the thing about James Harden, bro, we see what he does in the playoffs. Now he got the help, obviously, but from what we've seen so far, he seems like the kind of guy to just tune out come playoff time. The main thing I want to focus on why the Lakers aren't in trouble is because they have LeBron James, bro. LeBron James is the kind of guy who will literally elevate anybody he's with, and you can see right now they're performing even crazier. Or not even crazy, but performing well without LeBron right now.
I hate to agree with Dro here. I hate to agree with anything lavishing LeBron. But bruh, I doubted the switch for so long. I doubted the switch. I really did. I was a habitual doubter of the switch. And everybody be like, LeBron gonna turn it on the playoffs. He's just bullshitting. He gonna turn it on the playoffs. Like even David was actually saying last year, he's like LeBron told Rondo to not do shit all regular season, so that nobody would scout for him in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Bro, and I can guarantee you it was LeBron who told Rondo to not do shit in the regular season. And because he is that calculating. He is literally that, because it's a Capricorn. LeBron, because he lacks in certain skill sets, he overcompensates by outthinking everybody and being 2 or 3 steps ahead before you ever get to the game. That's how he is. And like, bro, the Nuggets, well, no. Okay, so let me be honest about this shit. They shouldn't have beat the Nuggets. They should never have beaten the Nuggets. LeBron making that call into the fucking league office was bullshit. Like, when they weren't getting their fouls. And then not only did they start getting fouls, but then Nuggets got no foul calls whatsoever. Like Murray was getting just hacked. Like Jokic was one of the few times, because Jokic don't ever be bothered by shit. Like that was one of the few times you ever saw Jokic really getting physically upset because he was getting fucking hammered and they won't call it. But with that being said, LeBron's switch is real. That motherfucker's playoff switch is awesome. Like, yes, I've never seen a person take a playoff game mid-playoff series. Yeah, I'm gonna take this game off. Like, why? Because I know I've been looking at statistics at these players when they play back-to-back and when they play off of a win versus when they play off of a loss versus when somebody's guarding them versus da-da-da-da. So I've calculated that I could take this game off and score only 15 points because next game I'm gonna score 40 and just put a dagger in their heart. Like, that's how it is.
You say Lakers are more in the driver's seat than the Nets. The Nets are in more trouble than the Lakers.
I actually think that the Nets are in more trouble because I don't even think it's because necessarily of KD, more so about Kyrie, because Kyrie has this really weird knack for disappearing, not like on the court, but literally. Like, if through the most random type of ankle injury that can put you out for a whole playoff. Like shit like that, like always at like the beginning too, like the first game of the playoffs, done. And if it's left to just James Harden without Dinwiddie coming back, oh, by the way, Dinwiddie might be coming back before the playoffs, is what they're saying. Yeah. They don't want to say anything about it, but he might be coming back during the playoffs. And if that shit happens, that's a problem. That's a problem. But Kyrie going down messes up their bench.
Back to the stream, Yuli.
Huh?
Now I'm shouting out one of the people in the chat there, Yuli, and also Glory saying that KD can come back with a 27, because of course he got a 27-foot wingspan, and with the skills of a guard, of course he'll come back easier. The thing about this man is lanky, bro. It's
lanky.
He's a legitimate footer.
It's been a few years. The reason KD is so salty, right, man? I be having my problems with KD, but KD needs to go to therapy. That's KD's problem. KD needs to go to therapy. So he's always probably had a lot of people doubt what he could and couldn't do because of his size, right? Like, you got to be a center. And so people try to pigeonhole him. And because of him being a tall guys don't get the love that guards get. Also, KD ain't the prettiest guy around, right? KD ain't the most stylish guy around. And yet you got people, because he's not overt about how he moves like LeBron or even Steph Curry, or he's not pretty boy with the gorgeous family like Curry. There was a legitimate 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years where KD was absolutely the best player in the NBA. Like, it won't like, oh, like, man, but LeBron, yeah, that's cool. There was a period where you just could not stop KD from doing anything he wanted at all, whatsoever, like at all. And then what's even worse is if KD gets on his burner account and start talking shit, y'all cook. Don't let KD be the headline for the day, because he's gonna fuck you up on the court that night. And it's the only player. Well, him and Dame Lillard, right? I would say him and Dame Lillard are the only players that will be in some Twitter beef, and their names are all over the headlines, and people are questioning their heart. And he like, oh, y'all for no. I be doing this shit in my free time. You know what I do also other than this, guess what I do I just fucking hoop. I hoop and I hoop and I hoop, and that's all I do, bro. And so when you get that, you don't get the love that Steph. There should have been a year where KD was the unanimous MVP. People forget KD led the Thunder to having the best record in the NBA over the course of a 10-year stretch. And the Warriors were the ones who took that away from them because of the 72-win season. But like when you did the cumulative record,
that same year. They had a great record that year too.
Yeah.
They won like almost all their home games.
They were 40-1 that season at home.
39-2 or like 41.
That was that the first triple? No, that was when he almost averaged a triple double.
Right.
That was when he started being called Mr. Triple Double again, because he was doing some insane shit himself. And KD was still, this was weird. Everybody saying Russell Westbrook was being selfish, but he actually had the best pure point guard stat in the NBA like 4 years straight. But like KD was that guy multiple years, but they kept showing all the love to Curry because pretty boy Curry, and the Warriors were doing amazing things. Like, don't get it twisted. Curry deserved love. That's not what we're saying. But KD never got he's the definitive best player in the world love ever. Even the MVP season.
He was never there, dude.
His MVP season, it wasn't close.
LeBron has always been the better basketball player. KD might have been producing more, but LeBron has always, ever since LeBron entered his first prime, he never let go of it, bro.
The only version of LeBron that was better than KD.
Statistically, KD, give me anybody else. Giannis, LeBron has always been the better basketball player than anybody.
So I'm gonna tell you, the only time LeBron was better than KD,
always.
Because here's what happened. Because I know y'all young, y'all be forgetting this order.
Bro, stop doing that. Damn.
Look at him. Look at him. Trying to little bro. Okay,
don't do that.
LeBron got to knock him off balance, guys.
Everybody, including KD.
No. So so before LeBron went to the Heat, that's LeBron's best years were clearly the fucking Heatles, and it was really the second season that he was on the Heat, and he was that was a god walking amongst man. That those couple when he had like a 38% 3-point percentage, he was doing some crazy shit there. But before that, it was Kobe. Kobe was the best player in the NBA, and in fact, it was literally a fucking joke that everybody made whenever anybody ever tried to compare LeBron to Kobe. Like, look, they were asking Ron Artest, who's the best player in the NBA? Or don't you think LeBron is in competition for the best player in the NBA? He's like, yeah, man, he's the second best player in the NBA. And he's like, oh, well, like, do you think that he could take Kobe's spot? He's like, yeah, he's the second best player in the NBA. Because Kobe is and was that much better than LeBron. Like, and motherfuckers always forget that, but he was. Then it was the Heat. Okay, those years, he was great. But KD in the Western Conference, the Western side, him and Westbrook were eating them motherfuckers alive, and no one was paying attention to it until the playoffs came. Because I remember how everybody was surprised whenever they went to the finals. They were like, who the fuck are these two? Because it was 23, 22, and 21 years old. But that was on the back of KD. And for those years, back and forth between the Heat, like there were years where LeBron was the best player, but also KD was kind of up there too. And Wade needed to push LeBron, give him more touches, allowed him to be more dominant. But then when he went back to the Cavs, there were years, almost all the years where he was on the Cavs, where KD was better than LeBron. He was.
Wouldn't you say the same thing could apply for KD though? Because pre-Steph, he was having flameouts, bro. I'm talking about he couldn't even make it to the finals while LeBron every year was going to the finals.
If I had to Wade.
And then another thing that I want to say is that LeBron's son, KD. But listen. What I want to say is that what I want to say. I've seen times where KD literally, like you said, like about Jason Tatum earlier, you completely disengaged. LeBron, after he left Cleveland, this man has never ever disengaged. I don't know.
That's crazy. Them 2011 finals never happened.
No, 2011. After the 2011,
you can't say after that, bro. What? You can't say after that. Like, bro, you literally just decided not to shoot the basketball.
That was terrible. Honestly, that's the one time.
He never had one of them games. He might miss. You know what I'm saying? But even then, it's like he missed.
No. Did you not see why the Thunder choked against the Warriors? That was thanks to mostly KD. He put like 10.
Trust me, boy. I fucking know because I watched Westbrook took so much heat that year. And I'm like, y'all did not watch those games. Westbrook was trying his goddamn heart out. And KD was just like, bro, I'm telling you. So in your defense, the way they say that LeBron gave up that year, the final year of the Cavs.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah. I feel that way about KD against the Warriors. He gave up on the Thunder, even though they were up 3-1. And he was like, yeah, but like Curry being cool to me, man. You know, Draymond been showing me some love. I do like investments, and that is Silicon Valley area, man. I'm trying to get this money. Hey, by the way, shout out to KD for that huge ass deal they got with Coinbase. The dude's probably worth more money than LeBron right now, which is crazy. Crypto, shout out to crypto's the future, guys.
Crypto's crazy right now. If y'all not investing in that shit, bro,
y'all walling. If you're investing in stock, well, even worse, if you're one of the motherfuckers investing in stocks and not crypto, boy, you're stupid, bro. I don't know what else to say, but you're stupid.
But before we get out of here, man,
I just crypto video.
Oh, definitely. By the way, we'll talk about that after. But LeBron has always, and I mean always, I think, in my opinion, he's the best passer. Like physically being able to pass the basketball and know where to put it, best passer in the NBA. KD's never been that. LeBron is a better facilitator of the basketball. KD has never quite been that. That's another thing right there. And LeBron has in terms of carrying teams, bro, do you think if you put KD 2007 Cavaliers, if you take them to the finals, bro,
did you forget
because look at what he did. I'm talking about just overall the
KD MVP season. KD's
KD
MVP season. Did you forget that season? Do you know what happened? Why he got the MVP? So the you know how PER and usage rate is a huge problem. Westbrook went down the whole season and he willed the motherfuckers to like third seed.
We had Russell Westbrook though.
No, the MVP season he won because Westbrook went down, and so LeBron had to split his PER with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, where it was only KD.
You're right. Reliable
and no other All-Star. And he willed the Thunder to like fourth or third place on like 3 or 4 35-point games back to back. Oh, no. Excuse me. It was like the longest 35-point game in history.
They were the streak in the West, bro.
Huh?
They're the second best team in the West, 59-23.
KD is a better shooter than LeBron. Easily. He's not a better player. Or he's
a better shooter. No, pause. No, because I got to get my rebuttal. LeBron James, trash free throws at the end of the game. Period. KD, it was a big separator because we just talked about Bradley Beal's problem with that, right? Okay. KD is consistently a better shooter from deep at any level. KD has a skill set. He has something that LeBron doesn't have, which is why LeBron has to play GM. Everybody wants to give him credit for it, but he has to play GM because I have to make everybody else contort their fucking skills and limit themselves because of my skill limitations so that I can shine. Whereas KD, you can plug and play him or you can build a team around him.
Wait. Repeat what you just said one more time.
LeBron's lack of skills in certain areas, like the ability that he has an inability to play off the ball, right? Effectively. To be like he can't be Dwayne Wade, right? If Dwayne Wade's playing off the ball, bitch, I'm still the Flash. Like it is what it is. Like that's just what I am. That's not the same with LeBron. Dwayne Wade had to tell, hey, bro, you got to be the dominant ball handler because literally you can't do this off the ball shit. And Chris Bosh had to relegate himself to a 3-and-D floor spacer who sometimes takes, if he had a good game, it was 20 shots a game, and he was a goddamn superstar. Versus KD, Kyrie and Harden damn near having MVP seasons. Even when they play those 7 games, they were all having simultaneous MVP seasons. Why? Because KD doesn't have to, you don't have to contort your skill set for KD to be successful. The Warriors didn't have to stop being the Warriors to plug KD in because hell, shit, you can drop him literally anywhere. You were not going to get that result if you drop LeBron there because LeBron can't shoot like KD. He can run the floor and he can facilitate, but that's Draymond's job. So now you're gonna make Draymond do less.
Bro, Nico, when you said he wasn't able to play off ball, do you not remember the efficient season he had in second year with Miami?
30 points per game,
literally posting up, literally becoming the best cutter.
That's not off ball.
It is off ball.
That's not no. He was a dominant ball handler. Literally, go watch the Dwayne Wade interview with Kevin Garnett. Dwayne Wade literally says, I had to tell him to be the ball handler and to take all the shots because he wasn't doing it.
But you're talking about when he was posting up without the ball, cutting without the ball.
The year he was playing the 4.
That's how he became.
Oh yeah, when he played. So he's playing the point 4. No, I'm not saying but those like fast breaks. Yeah, he would catch alleys. I'm not saying he never could play off the ball, but it's more than catching alleys and getting fast breaks and shit. Like you got like Dwayne Wade. Go look at Dwayne Wade playing off the ball versus LeBron. Like it's not even close. Look at how Steph Curry plays without the ball. He was able to play without the ball. LeBron is not playing as well off the ball as KD was on the Warriors.
What about now? And what about ever since then, bro? LeBron's
the point guard for the Lakers now. What you mean?
LeBron has been.
He's the point guard. He's literally the point guard.
LeBron's much better off the ball than you're giving him credit.
I'm not saying he's not good. He's just not off so KD is superstar off the ball, superstar on the ball. And LeBron is, you're good. You're really good. You're athletically good off the ball. But if I say go occupy, because he doesn't have the footwork to work, because off the ball is a lot of footwork. Everybody knows this. He doesn't have the footwork because, this is LeBron. He doesn't have, he does have the IQ, but I don't think he can get to where he needs to get in time. He can bully people on the post-up, but his post-up game kind of ugly. He just got a little turnaround jumper, which is good. But like he didn't even have that all the time.
What's that game? Like that.
And even Cavs, Lakers, his post-up game now is amazing. His
post-up game is better now, but it's still ugly as shit. But his post-up game was decent. It wasn't like that. In fact, the conversation that me and Dave had, like What is he going to get? A solid. His post-up game is as good as Giannis's is, and Giannis don't have a good post-up game. I don't feel like he does. He just got that ugly ass dribble. He's like, oh shit, I'm 7 foot tall. Yeah.
Yeah,
he don't even be in the key. He be outside of the key. It's like, oh shit, why am I even doing this? I'm just gonna dunk on you. Sorry, guys.
Chat, what y'all think? Has KD or any other player for that matter taken the best player crown from LeBron at any point in time? Who do y'all think is currently the best player in the NBA? And you know what? Just throw this one in there. Who's your GOAT too, by the way?
That's a whole different. Michael Jordan.
5 threes in 1 month.
Who?
Mr. 85 threes in 1 month.
87.
87 threes in 1 month.
Yeah, 87.
The second.
Glory, I gotta answer Glory's question about where she said in the 2012 finals, all the states except Florida thought the OKC would beat the Heat. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, because I actually, funny enough, went back and watched the series the other day because I wanted to confirm that I wasn't crazy for what I saw at that point, bruh. The refs were never going to let LeBron lose to a 23, 24, and 21-year-old small market team in OKC was never supposed to be there, bruh. It was just that Westbrook and KD on that Heat series. Did Parker say something about Westbrook's mama?
Like, who? What about who?
Did Tony Parker say something about Westbrook's mama in that Spurs Thunder series? Because remember, Tony cooked them the first game. And after that, bro, it was disgusting. Go back and watch the Spurs series, bro. If you want to be entertained like peak Westbrook, go watch some goddamn Spurs series. But the Thunder were the best team in the league, but two things. Scott Brooks not a good coach. And two, they were a rhythm team, right? Because they're young, right? They're young, they're emotional. They had to get up and down the floor. And every time the West blew the whistle, I'm like, well, that's it. The game is going to be over because, one, we know that refs like to cheat in the finals. Like, this is a fact. This is just a fucking, go look at the documentaries. Go look at the Allen Iverson situation when we found out they refs had basically agreed. They all agreed that they were never going to let Allen Iverson get a ring, bro, which is fucked. Like, it's fucked up. But because they just didn't like the way he moved. And refs don't like Westbrook all that much. And we're about to look, Kobe was taken down because of the Achilles situation. He was transitioning out, and you needed LeBron to be the next guy up. And that was in the 2011 year was supposed to be the year that it happened. It just never happened because he fucking folded. So they gave him the opportunity again through the refs, in my humble opinion, because of that established. We know that the young guys don't even get ref calls. Anyway, how like many times we see Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray, no matter how great they are, not get those calls even to this day.
But as far as like before we get off this topic, I don't want to focus in too much on one specific thing in the general topic here. But his post game, bro.
That's a good point here.
Did you not watch their series with the Spurs? They steamrolled through Kobe and the Lake. What year was that?
The year they went to the finals.
I did. We were just talking
about talking about OKC.
Yeah, they spanked.
Oh yeah. They swept,
destroyed everybody.
That was right after they won the title too.
Hell yeah.
And they killed the Spurs. Yeah,
bro. They made Kobe look like they made that Lakers team look like a bunch of kids. I guess like that's basically what it was. Now that OKC. So if you go back and play the all OKC team on 2K, by the way, the all because it's the Supersonics or whatever. Okay, because they get the Supersonics players and the OKC players.
Yeah, Allen them.
Bro, they got goddamn KD at his prime, Westbrook at his prime. Somehow Harden's a 95 on that shit when he was never a 95 on the OKC. Ibaka at his prime. Then you got Gary Payton coming off the bench. Bro, Paul George, that was an MVP candidate.
That's crazy.
Bro, the list is in. I'm like, dog. Every time I I'm like, bro, the 30 for 30 for the Thunder is going to be disgusting. Niggas is gonna be like, how many MVPs do they have? How many scoring champions do they?
That's a yearly tweet every day, every year. That's a yearly.
Every year, y'all had multiple MVPs, multiple scoring champions, multiple All-Stars, multiple All-NBA players, the blocks leader multiple times. You had the only guy to ever average a triple-double and the second guy to have ever come close to averaging a triple-double. Like, literally. You had those guys. Oh, bro.
James Harden should have won MVP.
Oh, and Chris Paul's on the All OKC team. which is like cheating.
Glory saying Harden was the sixth man in 2012. That doesn't make him a 95 cheese though. I
They do that for the All NBA though. You know
for that year, I probably give him like a
88.
Like an 89, 90-ish. Like an 89, 90 is
That's the
respectable
first year.
for Harden.
That's the first year James Harden choked in the finals as well, in the playoffs as well.
Oh, yeah. He choked in that Spurs series, but Westbrook and KD covered down for him.
But I think
KD was balling that.
I think
finals.
the reason why Harden gets scary in the playoffs is because he keeps thinking about the time Juan Artest elbowed the fuck out of him. He gets worried about, is someone gonna do that again?
No, but low key, I feel like he does be getting worried about. I think he thinks about that final series, but I think that he don't be trusting his. I feel like before he didn't trust his team, but then when the Chris Paul situation happened, people forget. Like, bro, he was taking the Warriors, dog. Like Harden was. Chris Paul was done. He was hurt. In that last game,
In 5, Chris Paul was hurt, but then the other 4 games he was elite.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was elite too, but so was Harden. It wasn't like Chris Paul was carried, but then that last game, what happened was Harden felt all the pressure on him because his team just didn't hit anything anymore. And and he wasn't getting the foul calls, which he should have known by now. Even though I will say Harden do be getting kind of fucked over when it comes to foul calls in the playoffs because they want to make a point to not give it to in the playoffs. Only the playoffs. No, not in the regular season. That's why he gets so pissed about the playoffs. He's like, bitch, you just giving me this like 2 days ago. Like, what you mean? But in the playoffs, it's different. But hey, at the end of the day, like what I love is that like there are some coaches like Eric Spoelstra last finals, you notice that the Heat didn't complain about a single thing when it came to the refs. He's like, you're not getting the calls. Don't even think about getting the calls. I know I coached LeBron James in the finals, bitch. You're not, and they every time, okay, whatever. All right, whatever. They just give the ball. Because they knew if they got emotional about it, it could change. It would change though. They wouldn't have a chance. But because Eric Spoelstra was smart enough to tell them, don't even expect the call, it really gave them an opportunity to keep their head in the game instead of getting overwhelmed by the like, bro, we know how the NBA, it is still entertainment. There is a level of WWE to the NBA, right? Like there is.
As much as we don't like to think about that when we watch the games, man, I do agree that there was no way on earth that the 2020 Lakers were not going to win the championship. There's no way on earth. The season,
Kobe died.
If it weren't for LeBron and obviously the Kobe tragedy, the season probably would have just stopped and not restarted again.
Well, and the Kawhi thing too. They wanted that Lakers Clippers matchup bad.
So put Kawhi in Toronto, LeBron back in Cleveland, Kobe still here on Earth physically, then that season's done with, bro. That season's done with. The 2020, the COVID season.
Oh, you mean like, I thought you meant as a player. But no, I agree. I agree. They wanted that. They put in, the money they were expecting that season, dog. Like, to the point where even this year, they're like, man, we still got to get that. Hey, y'all, we having an all-star game. Shit, I know we told y'all we weren't. But they really were like, hey, fuck that noise. We having one. Sorry, guys. Get over it. I'm like, shit.
Wow, bro. Not only the NBA, but
the players signed the deal, though.
That's true. I think that the people surrounding obviously the big like NBA and Nike was foul with the whole Kobe thing. They juiced it out, and as soon as it's done with, just toss them, throw it to the side. Nike just said, "Fuck you, we're not taking care of your life,
bro." It's fucked up. The way they be, man. Look, Kobe. I mean, I know some people think that LeBron's like it's a competition between like LeBron and Jordan for the best player in the world or ever. But like, bro, the disrespect because the people remember Kobe injured because like it's the injury Kobe that they remember, and then like as LeBron was ascending. But once again, it was literally a fucking joke to ever think that LeBron could be better than Kobe Bryant because Kobe was that nigga. I can't not stress enough how, bro. Oh, y'all, I know we're talking about LeBron's post game. LeBron's post game is elementary, bro. It's literally compared to Kobe's post game.
I wouldn't say that. Kobe got a better post game.
No. It's literally elementary. Go back and watch. Kobe would hit you with the and get like, bro, come on, bro.
Kobe's post work and footwork was elite. I can't.
It's probably the best in the history of the NBA.
The reason
it's better than Michael Jordan's.
Olajuwon.
Did he train with Olajuwon?
Yeah,
he did.
Right before he became the best power forward in basketball his second year in Miami. The summer from 2012 to 2013.
I'm talking about Kobe.
Kobe did back in the day.
Kobe. Whenever he got beat by somebody, like in the in the playoffs, and he felt like it was because he couldn't take advantage of the size. I want to say it was the Mamba years. I want to say it was the 24 year, because that's the years he really started implementing the post game. And he got like beat by somebody and was really upset about that shit. So he literally called Hakeem Olajuwon up because Kobe can call the fuck he wants to, and he'll come and train him. And he just like, yeah, I'm the best post. I'm the best post player in the NBA now. I know I'm a fucking two guard, but and you can't do shit about like Kobe was so goddamn good, bro.
Bro, R.I.P. to the legend, bro. That shit is crazy, bro.
You could put so much fear in my heart because I hated Kobe, bro. I was a Knicks fan. Like,
he's the type motherfucker that you go to the arena and you see his jerseys more than the home team,
bro.
Way more people that like when I go to Capital One and watch the Wizards, you saw straight Kobe jersey. I went and I seen Kobe hit a game winner right there in person, bro. That man is cold, bro.
I always say, bro, you know what I always tell people? I'm like, because like, so I say Jordan is the GOAT because like just accolades wise, it's really hard to beat 6-0. Like that's just very difficult to do. But if you want to go skill for skill, bro, Kobe had to play in the era where everybody wanted to be Michael Jordan. So in a world where you have to beat T-Mac to be the best player in the NBA, Vince Carter to be the best player in the NBA, even Allen Iverson to be the best player in the NBA, Dwayne Wade on a come up to be the best player in the NBA. Who else? I know, bro. I'm forgetting people because there were so many of these motherfucking super. I mean, even Brandon Roy, if he would have had to come up, if he would have been healthy, like there were so many of these up and coming Jordan people. They were all two-way guards too. So it wasn't like they were just scoring. They were guarding each other. And Kobe was just took their souls. Oh, Manu Ginobili, Rip Hamilton, everybody. Bro, soul snatching, bro. You are not even close to me. He made everybody who envied Michael Jordan envy him. And he just crushed their souls, bro.
You know, it's Michael Jordan too.
He made the reason that Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and them teamed up was because of Kobe. It's because of Kobe. KG couldn't beat them in the West. They knew that if they went to the finals, they weren't going to beat the Lakers with Paul Pierce. No, they weren't. They said it. KG said it was because of Kobe in an interview because he's like, bro, we weren't going to beat him. And people want to be like, oh man, no, it's because Kobe had Pau Gasol, who was not that good until he got to the Lakers because of Kobe, and Andrew Bynum, who never did anything again after he left the Lakers, and all those role players who became trash after leaving the Lakers. Bro, Kobe is that nigga.
You know what's even more impressive about Kobe, man? Kobe, and it's even happening now with the Kobe disciples like Jason Tatum and Devin Booker. A lot of them are falling under that Kobe curse, I guess you would call it, where they got to be like Kobe so much where they don't be themselves.
They don't think.
And then the same thing happened with Michael Jordan. A lot of guys were having the Michael Jordan. Like so many, you saw Jerry Stackhouse basically his career. Grant Hill was supposed to be like another Michael Jordan.
Another one. That's another one. Finley. Remember fucking Finley from the Mavs?
Yeah, Michael Finley from Dallas. Harold Mano was supposed to be the next MJ, and he flamed out too.
Yeah.
Kobe was
J.R. Smith was supposed to be too.
They should have a 30 for 30 about baby Jordans.
Yeah, bro, there should be. There really should be. Like people were skipping college because they just wanted to find the next Jordan so goddamn bad. And meanwhile, every time you thought somebody was about to be that dude, Kobe's like, "Oh no, come here, little boy. I need to show you something." And then you just realize, like, damn, this dude that Kobe embarrassed is nice. Like if Kobe isn't here, he's the best player by far in the NBA, or at least top two. And then Kobe just embarrasses them. 11 all NBA first teams. 11, bruh. I think Michael got like 6 or 7.
I got like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
9 or 10. That's great. 11? No. He don't got 10 because he does have like a significantly amount less than Kobe does.
No, Kobe did. Kobe, I think Kobe has second most all time in the all.
Bro, and earned them every single year. So like now I'm in an era where I'm guarding the best player because that's the difference, right? Before people forget. Like the guarding the best player shit, because before you had to play man, and then it was, well, I gotta save my best player because I'm not about to there's some players that were really good at guarding their man, but no. Kobe literally wanted to guard the best player every single game.
So Jordan had it. Jordan had 11.
It was 10-time All NBA first team, and then
And
one
one
time
was the second team.
And how many was Kobe?
Kobe was, I think, 11. 9. I think he was.
Kobe was at least 11.
I think he might have had more.
Let's check. Let's see.
Kobe was probably second team. Like
so MJ 11, Kobe had 11, 13. Damn, 13, 15. 15 total, 11 in the first time.
So every year before the injury. Literally.
Yeah. Ever since 1999, all the way to the injury.
Yeah, 99, he was a 13.
The first year he started, basically, then. So the first year he started, because he was drafted in 96. They didn't start for 2 years. He started for 2 years.
Look up his 05 stats.
His 05 stats when he dropped 35 a game, had the 81-point game.
And they had him all NBA 13. That's crazy to me.
Because why they did that? Because the Lakers were some shit that year. That's the only reason they did that.
Kobe was still a villain back in the day too.
He should have been higher than that.
He was still a villain in 05.
The best player.
He was still a villain.
He was the villain in 05 because Shaq just left and the whole Colorado thing popped off. And so they were like, "All right, Kobe, sorry, I gotta give you 13 this time."
But again, the Baby Jordan documentary. Listen,
that would be dope.
ESPN should be ashamed of The Last Dance because that was Jordan propaganda.
Bro. The way they did my nigga Penny or Pippen, bro.
Yeah,
they did him dirty.
You give me a Baby Jordan doc, I promise I'll do 10 times better than Jordan did for that. Because I'm gonna
they did Pippen. They were like, yeah, man, he was being selfish. Why? Because he wanted to get paid.
It didn't even get Pippen.
Jordan already got paid.
It didn't even give Pippen his best moment against Karl Malone, talking about the man doesn't deliver on Sunday.
Like. They didn't. They just did. They like just pretend like Pippen was some auxiliary player. Like, no, actually,
there's no MJ.
Pippen was like the first stretch four, like that could guard all 5 positions.
Yeah, with no Scotty, there's absolutely zero MJ, bro.
The greatest Robin.
I would say there's zero MJ. I would say
zero, but he's not the GOAT at all. That's what I mean.
He might have been relegated to the Tracy McGrady talk or the Elgin Baylor.
You think he would have won a ring if Phil Jackson didn't get hired though?
No.
Probably because people were saying
because it was Phil who forced him to take less shots, and he said we can't win while you're scoring at this kind of a clip.
Doug Collins' coaching wasn't working.
Jordan might have been like Thanos though. It would have been inevitable, and you would have gotten maybe you would have gotten 1 ring, but not 6.
I don't know, bro. You would think that some shit is I think the league would have made it right because he was that nice that the league would have figured that. But that's my thing with LeBron, right? What if LeBron didn't run away from great coaches?
Hold Isaiah. Yeah, they did hold Isaiah Thomas.
If LeBron didn't do what?
What if LeBron didn't run away from great coaches?
Like who?
Like any great coach. Like he just the reason that like he tried to get rid of Eric Spoelstra, and then everybody thought Eric Spoelstra was a bad coach because they remember in 2011 they had a losing streak. Remember they had a losing streak. It was a big deal, and then they blame Eric Spoelstra. Because LeBron's a deflector of accountability. I feel like everybody knows this at this point, at least that. Yeah. And so it has to be Eric Spoelstra's fault. And then Pat Riley was like, suck my dick, he's staying. Like, because Pat Riley saw something in Eric Spoelstra that none of us saw at the time. So now fast forward, you realize like, damn, if LeBron would have acquiesced to Eric Spoelstra more and stayed and learned how to be, because I don't think that LeBron was fully developed yet.
Didn't you say Frank Vogel is a pretty great coach? He's not running away from that.
He's a decent coach, but let's be honest, LeBron runs the show now. Like it's different. If LeBron had an aversion to great coaches in his younger years, now he's like, I'm the coach, so it doesn't matter.
I would say outside of Eric Spoelstra, when has he really had any good coach like that?
And like Eric Spoelstra he can't talk to LeBron like he talks to these players now. He's a video room guy.
Yeah, see.
Like he Eric Spoelstra probably had to do. Hey, Dwayne, can you tell LeBron this in this?
Hey, this man LeBron is
right?
That's why they couldn't have him in Miami, bro. Because Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, they can't get down with not being in full control, especially Pat Riley. Once Pat Riley feels his control of the team is compromised, you can forget about everything else. Get the fuck out of my town. Go play and go back home.
Exactly. And then it turns out after LeBron leaves, everybody like, oh shit, actually Eric Spoelstra is literally a Hall of Fame coach. Like last year, I was like, oh shit, is Eric Spoelstra the best coach in the NBA? When the fuck did we miss this? Like
Eric Spoelstra over Brad Stevens any day.
Make sure y'all hitting the thumbs up though. I want to ask one more question. We're gonna get on out of here for this live stream. Last question.
yeah.
Brooks and I were talking about.
Yeah,
we've been going in for a minute. Brooks
I was
and I
going to go pick up my dog from David's house, and I didn't realize. Yeah, I was supposed to go 50 minutes ago. I said 10 minutes, 50 minutes. That's cool though.
Look, check this out. Check this out.
I was going by when you have fun.
Do you Skip Bayless? We talked about earlier. Do you believe that LeBron keeps up with Skip Bayless, or at least is he?
Absolutely. He's a Capricorn. We keep up with everybody. Everybody, whoever talks shit about me, I know exactly what they be saying when they be saying it. I probably create lists in my head. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, we about to watch these motherfuckers. Watch what happens. Watch what we do to them. Watch me prove them wrong. Watch this. Because in LeBron is even worse. I mean, the dude literally had a hashtag called, what do you call it?
Taco Tuesday?
No. When they were trying to call him like crippled or some shit like that, he said something King.
Wash King.
Because it was like, wasn't it Skip who said that?
Skip, bro. Here's the thing about Skip, bro. Skip Bayless, his whole existence is because of LeBron. So of course
I wouldn't say that. Skip,
right,
Skip's been that dude for a minute.
Hyperbole.
Skip Bayless is a certified LeBron James.
Skip Bayless is his claim to being as big as he is being the LeBron critic. And to LeBron and to Skip's credit, nobody criticizes, and a lot of Skip's criticisms of LeBron, a lot of them are unfair, but a lot of them are legit that people kind of don't want to listen to.
A lot of Skip.
Because it becomes
why Skip be going so hard on LeBron,
narrative addict, bro. Of course he wants to know what these motherfuckers.
You know why, like low key, why Skip be wanting to go hard on LeBron? It's beyond basketball. Like low key, it's beyond basketball, not in like a personal way, but Skip understands that LeBron is low key. He's a little bit false or fake in the way he moves. Like Skip don't like the fact LeBron will throw somebody under the bus if it means saving his own ass. And it's one thing if you would take the L and then you hold yourself accountable, but he'll take the W and put it, oh, this is all me. And then when the L comes, it's, man, we need more ball handlers. We need more of this. We need more of that. And then when he gets all that, he very rarely, if ever, gives legitimately the credit to anybody ever. Like, bro, you know how hard it was being a Dwayne Wade fan and watching everybody really believe that at the time Dwayne Wade couldn't have been the best player on that team. He could have been. He probably, for us, we all actually, Dwayne Wade fans like, bitch, he's still the best player on the team. He literally is like, I can be as effective and just not touch the ball and still be fine.
If it weren't for LeBron stinking it up in 2011, D Wade would have another Finals MVP under his belt. He was cooking that, bro. He
trying to save the fucking series, and LeBron shit the bed. I have never forgiven LeBron for stopping Dwayne Wade from getting a fourth ring. I've never forgiven him because that would have that, like, I feel like Dwayne Wade low key. I mean, he gets a lot of love, like, don't get me wrong, but I do feel the appreciation for Wade didn't come until it was at the beginning, and then it was at, like, when he's about to go out, when everybody remembered how great he was. But even that was low key associated with, like, oh man, yeah, because him and LeBron. No, it was Dwayne Wade, and LeBron was lucky enough to ride the train.
They both benefited.
But like, they both benefit, and it's like, okay, listen, there was a chance when, bro, another documentary you're probably gonna have to get, bro. We never got to see Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade beat the fuck out of the Cavs when LeBron went back, bro. Never got to see it.
Chris Bosh had the lead clots or whatever, the blood clots.
Because of the blood clots. And Chris Bosh, for the younger generation, they were finally seeing what I got to see when he was in Toronto. I'm like, yeah, y'all didn't know he had that, did you? He pulled up at 26, 27 a game. I literally took a step back because, once again, it goes back to what I was saying. LeBron has to, like, other players have to defer to LeBron, which is not the same with KD.
LeBron is the sun and everybody else is a planet.
Or the moon? Oh, no, I get you saying. No, that's true. Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely right. And literally. But KD is like, man, we can all be sons. It's cool, whatever. I'm still gonna get mine.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and end it at that, man. We went in on the Lakers, the Nets, about the whole Kobe, MJ, everybody, man. If you missed this live stream, if you're just tuning in now, scroll back a little bit. Go ahead. We're gonna keep it offline. Actually, we're not even on OBS. We're not even on OBS. So I can't even say that. But make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Shout out to Nico House pulling up, man, talking some sports, bro. My man knows his shit. So definitely we'll be back with some more sports debates, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man.
Nico,
to
bring us
HMO
on that
and
double tech, man, because it's been a
big facts.
we need to get on double tech for one of these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, we about to once David back, and he's about to be back actually at the end of this week. Okay, so probably after his birthday though, because next week is his birthday, and we live in Miami, so we will not be sober for the birthday week. Just letting everybody know. That's anticipated. But other than that, we'll be back, bro. Like playoff time comes, we about to. Hey, and also just really quick before I click off, LaMelo.
Hey man, he's coming back soon, bro. That's the big
the Charlotte Hornets in the playoffs, dog. And people low key sleeping on them. People were the two teams that the Nets and the Celtics specifically should be worried about are the Knicks and the Hornets. Because y'all can catch L's from both of them motherfuckers. And the Hornets have been winning without Melo. He's motivated them that much that they've been winning without him now. It's like the LeBron effect almost. And if LaMelo's getting the LeBron effect, the league is the league is not ready for that.
But yeah,
imagine Steph Curry as LeBron, because that's what we're seeing.
And that's W's forever right there, bro. That's the best duo of all time. But look, let's go ahead right there, man. Glory Jones, appreciate you. Active in the chat. Zakia, Brendoza, HMO Nick, man. And again, of course, Mikasa Sukasa, Nico House, the homie BT, dammitdro, man. Make sure y'all follow everybody. It's going to be in the description, and we'll catch y'all.